It is the 19th of March, 2020. WIKISPEED Standup. Go ahead, Lauren.
Okay. Yeah, so the past week has been, I have not done anything that is particularly directly relevant to WIKISPEED, but I do have crosstalk. I should say a friend of mine who's into Raspberry Pi is taking advantage of the kind of time at home to really move ahead with his Pi, so that's kind of encouraging. He's 80 years old, and he's doing he has a thing called Pi hole, and to get rid of he's Apache on it and everything. He's funny because he says, I don't know what it's for, but I got Apache for it. Anyway, coming week, I don't anticipate a lot, but for Crosstalk, I want to talk about Zoom because it's actually kind of coming into its own and in this day and age. So I wouldn't mind a little chat about that. And blocks, everything is a block right now. And that's it for me.
Okay, it's Michael Olchuk in Saskatoon, Canada. This past week has pretty much been one big block. I didn't get to the guys that are making the solar panels because they, I'm assuming that they don't want any people visiting because of this virus spread thing. Same with getting hardware ready for working remote from work. It's just a bit of a zoo. Next week, I'm expecting to be at home, so I hope to be working a little bit in the basement, getting stuff rearranged. So maybe I can remove my block of not having access to my workbench. And it would be nice to free my treadmill from its, how would you say, its cage where it's been stored, so that I can actually use the treadmill a little bit instead of having it just in storage. Blocks, just basically doing other stuff because it seems to be a higher priority with the virus. But after today, I guess, I'm going to be kind of socked in here at home, working from home, so I should have a little bit more free time, assuming things work, I guess. That's about it for me. I think I talked about last week, this week. Blocks, yep, that's pretty much it. Back to you, Lauren, I guess.
Okay. So this week I'll call it a 2 for getting on the call and surviving, and for the team A5, a 6, and you know, actually the video conference experience we've had, that's what I'm going to talk about. It could prove really useful these days. So I certainly don't have a process improvement at the moment, and that's it for me.
Okay, I'm going to give myself probably a 3. And the team, yeah, 6 sounds reasonable. We're surviving. We're not really making progress. How about a 5? And no process improvement. So that pretty much wraps us up. You said you wanted to do some crosstalk. Recording it or not?
Yeah, crosstalk. So, for example, my relatives are going to have a Passover, Zoom Passover. It's normally in Toronto.
Okay.
And
okay, did I drop out or did you? Your video looks like it's hung. Hello, Lauren. Okay, I'll wait for a couple minutes here. Of course, I have no idea whether it's him or me. Normally, when I get a communication issue, my recording drops out, and it hasn't yet. Oh, Lauren's gone. Okay, it was probably him. We'll just wait for him to come back.
Hey,
You're back.
that hasn't happened in a while. My tablet, it chews through power, and I wasn't watching the power, so it just went black.
Ah, okay.
With the video conference chews through power,
Yes, it does.
and the tablets take a lot more energy than the phone.
So you said they were going to do a Zoom Passover.
Zoom Passover, yes. Everyone gets all the. You need a bone, a lamb bone, and you need a salt water, hard-boiled egg, matzah, of course, unleavened bread. And anyway, normally everyone gathers in Toronto, and I wasn't going to be able to go this year. I was going to go next year, but now I can go this year and I will probably be the Zoom kind of tech person for.
Well, if you sign up, I just got an ad for Zoom Pro or Zoom Room or something like that. They give you 30 days to try it out. So it may be a good thing to sign up for and just play around with it, because then you won't have the 40-minute limit.
Aha. Oh, yes. In fact, if they go through the whole thing, my family won't, but I have been to Passover dinners that lasted 5 hours because there's a long book.
Oh, 5 hours is quite a long time, yes.
And you kind of don't eat till near the end.
I see.
As a matter of fact, there's a movie, a funny movie about Passover called When Do We Eat?
Okay.
Anyway,
so you're gonna get some practical experience on Zoom.
Yeah, no, and that's a good hint. Because yes, that limit would be a problem. Although if necessary, I'll brief everybody on reconnecting. But that's going to be a bit of a. And a lot of groups. I told you I belong to various volunteer groups, and some of them are doing massive events with Zoom, and it's interesting because you couldn't hear them, and the sound was terrible and everything. And I would say, mute.
Well, if you have a choice, I would be the organizer, because the organizer can mute everybody.
Yeah. Yes.
And actually, the person that got me onto Zoom was actually my brother-in-law. He does a multi-level marketing thing,
Right.
and he's had thousands of people on Zoom at once.
Yeah. Yeah.
And apparently their servers can take it. So.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that's what they do, and that's how they establish themselves. So it's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I'm hoping to get a little bit of stuff done this week, but probably not a whole lot.
Yeah, things that are dual purpose that might move us a little bit along. Me too.
Also going to be getting some experience on Microsoft Teams, which probably won't help WIKISPEED, but some of the concepts may apply. I don't know.
Yeah.
We're setting up groups for our operations people to just, when they're having a problem, they just post it to a group. because they don't really know whether it's a mechanical problem or an instrumentation problem or an automation problem or an electrical problem. So
Right.
we're all on a group, and half of us are working from home and the other half are at the plant. Hopefully we'll, rather than them fumbling around trying to figure out who to call and whether they're at the plant or at home, we'll just have them post it, and whoever sees it first can take a stab at it.
Yeah. Yeah. Interesting. Microsoft Teams it is.
And Microsoft Teams, so it's kind of a replacement for Skype and Zoom, but it integrates really well with Outlook.
Right. Right.
And it does a little bit more. It lets you share files. It lets you do, they call them channels. So you can have a group, but you can have multiple discussions going
Right.
simultaneously in different tabs. And you can kind of
Right.
organize what you're doing in the channels. It's interesting. I don't.
Long time ago, there was things called groupware.
Yeah. I'm not sure that Zoom addresses that. I haven't had to look for it, so I guess I don't know. But
Right. So yeah, I mean, you can show the desktop, but yeah, Microsoft is probably integrated with chart and stuff like that.
well, like for example, if we were to have a channel for the car and a channel for the Little Red Wagon and a channel for stand up,
Yeah.
then you could go back. If someone joined, you could go back, however long it was, a month or whatever, and just see what happened in the last month, or if you were missing for a while or whatever.
Right. Right.
It sounds like an interesting concept. I just don't know how well it works in reality.
Right. Right. So I think I think I'm going to post my. I've been thinking a long time about managing telecommuters, kind of like one time I was at home on a conference call, and it was a condo apartment rental in California, and the leaf blower guy came by the window, and I didn't have it muted, so everybody was like,
Yeah. Well, we had a couple people without headsets today dial in and not realize that it didn't mute them by default. So we heard some interesting rumors about people that maybe we shouldn't have heard. But at least it was a small group today, and no one talked about anybody that was on the conference call.
yeah,
It could have been bad.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll look forward to next week. And Raspberry Pi is something that I probably would want to. First thing I want to revive of the things I'm working on. So that would be, I guess, my coming week. Do something with Raspberry Pi. Turn it on.
And I'm actually going to give Raspberry Pi a try with the web version of Teams and Outlook, just to see whether, as a web client with a Bluetooth headset, if it does what I expect it to do, because that's about as thin a client as you're going to get.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
okay.
If that works, then I'll post.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Take care.
Yep. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye-bye.